What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Let's do some more 400 Legend testing. It's always fun when we push a 10mm bullet, 40 caliber bullet at really high speeds like the 400 Legend can. Now keep in mind, Winchester just released the 400 Legend. There's not a whole lot of information about it. There's not a lot of videos even about it. We don't have a 400 Legend from Winchester. We have a 400 Legend upper receiver on a CMMG Mark IV lower. So the upper receiver was awesomely made by T2 Armory. You might know these guys from the Bushwhacker. So they have the capabilities, they have the machine shop. They quickly assembled this upper receiver from the SAMMI specs that are widely available to anybody. Let's just put it that way. So we've been having fun. They formed some 6.5 Carcano brass into basically 400 Legend. We shot a hard cast and we shot an XTP. Check back on that first video. That was really cool results. What we're here for today though is this little booger. This is a 175 grain FlexLock bullet that we pulled out of a Hornady Critical Duty. 10mm, of course. So it looks a little funny because we didn't load it up to the crimp that they had a sealant on, so that's why you see the green ring, but it's still crimped enough to do what we want to do. We're just playing with handgun bullets. These bullets aren't meant to be going out of something like this. These are just handgun velocity type of bullets. Hopefully in the future they develop bullets in this lead range, like an XTP mag would be a good example in 45 caliber. If they made those type of bullets in 40 caliber, if Hornady would do that, that would be awesome. Otherwise, the solid coppers, like you saw in our last test, the 140 grain extreme penetrator that we pulled out of an Underwood round, from what I understand, those can go up to like 5,000 feet per second before you even think about running into a problem. Now, one of the reasons I really want to do the Hornady Critical Duty is because it's known to be kind of barrier blind. This bullet's constructed just a little bit different than most hollow points. It tends to shed its petals if it hits something really hard and fast, but the plug, the center part, the main core, and the main weight of the bullet mass, it keeps going. So I have an assumption that this is going to have a very explosive effect, kind of like any other hollow point would, like the XTP that we used, the 200 grain, but I think this one might go just a little bit deeper. We have two 20-inch shooter's block of gel for a total of 40 inches. This block back here was hit one time, but I'll try to stay out of that track. I have a feeling this one might go through this first block, but not totally sure because, like I said, it might just kind of explode on impact. We're going to push it through the chronograph so we know the exact velocity. Our light angle is always funny, and I'm not sure if we'll actually capture it, but we're going to try. So some people may say, why are we doing this? These aren't going to be available from Winchester. They're not going to put this ammo out. They basically have one loading that they're saying that they're going to put out right now. It's a 215 grain bullet, I think, going at about 2,230 or 50 feet per second, depending on the source. What we're doing is we're trying to show what is possible if you hand load, or just what happens to bullets at higher velocities. We're trying to show some other options because right now they're not putting out any information, and we know that we can do better than what they're providing the general public as far as what type of ammo they're going to be using. Just basic Spitzer bullets is all they want to use, but we'll see how it goes. They're kind of aiming it more towards hunting rounds, but I think that the round in general, me personally, I think is going to be capable of a lot more than just hunting deer in straight wall states, but we'll see what they come up with. In the meantime, we'll keep coming up with things. Now keep in mind, T2 Armory is not selling this ammunition, they're not selling this brass, they're not selling this upper. None of this has to do with anything to do with selling this product. Companies are going to come out and they're going to make rifles, upper receivers, things like that. Hopefully other companies come on and make some ammunition other than the one offering we've been told about, and possibly a subsonic offering in the 300 grain range that they talked about. But for now, let's just shut up and start shooting this Hornady 175 grain flex tip bullet, and let's see if we can destroy that block. The sun looks good. Let's take advantage of it. Let's go. It did a good job on the block from here. Let's go take a look. All right, 2393. I expected a little bit more, but that's all right still. All right, it hit the dirt, so we got to deal with a little bit of dirt and grass here. I promise one day I'll get a better setup. But in the meantime, I'm sure you can see from here. Let me come around so I can see exactly what you're seeing. You're gonna see explosive entry where we had immediate pedaling out effect. We're talking within 2 inches, we had just extreme pedaling out where that bullet just completely mushroomed open. It sent shards in all directions, but then we had this permanent wound cavity that is just really rocking and rolling up to, I'd say, about the 8.5, 9-inch mark. That's really good, but that's really how the critical duty and critical defense line, that's how they work. They usually do have a pretty good permanent wound cavity. I would say this is definitely larger than typical. The bullet did do what it's designed to do, and it kept punching through. It definitely flattened out big time, but it made it all the way to what I would call at least 15 inches. I'd say it's probably sitting right at 15. Now from the top down, it's a little hard to see here, this bubble effect here that we have when we melted the gel, but you still see the immediate explosion. You see these petals, they just took a complete 90-degree turn right there, just like that. And then big permanent channel, leaving behind, it basically like kind of melted and shredded that flex tip on its way through. You can probably see that the bullet is a little bit more flat from this angle. And then I'll go ahead and I'll turn the block around so that you can see it from the other side. Very nice from all angles you look at it. And that's what's left of her, folks. That is the most I have ever seen a critical duty smash itself, deform itself. That thing turned into a little puck. The thing is no longer anything recognizable. You can still see a few little score marks in there from its natural factory scoring, I think it has in there, but for the most part, this thing is pretty darn flat. That thing's completely curled around itself. That's really awesome. So I don't know what application you might use this specific bullet for, but this bullet in the 400 Legend chambering is pretty darn powerful. You guys saw the block, you guys saw the foot-pounds of energy, you see this flattened out pancake like we've never seen a Hornady Critical Duty before. So I think that's pretty awesome. We're gonna keep playing around with different projectiles. The next one we have loaded up is this 130 grain XRB from Cellular and Below. Cellular and Below, S&B, whatever you call them. Anyway, that's a solid copper, but it's a hollow point. So the Extreme Penetrator has flutes and it's a solid copper. It's not hollow pointed, but it pushes fluid and tissue around with its flutes. This one is going to hit and open up. There's little tiny score marks in here to make it fillet itself open, but we're gonna see what happens. I'm thinking this is gonna be pretty explosive. You don't wanna miss this. So in the meantime, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you at the next video. And until then, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.